minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi, this is Dave Fitz, and you're listening to my buddy Dean Clark on Jigs and Reels, the best in Newfoundland and Labrador music on CKWR.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen that are online. It is another Monday night. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all my Mexican friends and all my Latino friends. Buenos dias, buenos noches. It is a Monday night. It is May the 5th. Oh, scratch nose time. Hope everybody's having a great week. We got a great show for you on hand tonight. I'm really excited about tonight. Hello, Jeremy. Good to have you on, my friend. First one on as always. Yes, it is going to be an awesome sauce time tonight. Mr. Glenn Roil, good evening to you, sir. And yes, feelings are mutual. I'm looking forward to chatting with you as well, my friend. We'll have some good times. Let's see. Where am I here? There's what I wanted. Peter Yetman, what's going on, brother, man? Just got to get some things set up here for my interviews. Pretty excited. This is the second time I've had the chance to interview Mr. Hello, Emily. Whoa. At least you didn't say it was a teeny weeny deenie. I would have had some choice words for you then on that one. All right. We're going to go to that one. No, that's not the one I want. I want. Where are you? There it is. Sign in. Choose your show. Verify that it's me. Yes, why would it not be me? I've opened up the other application, dumbass. Dumas. There we go. We're good. Stephen Lethbridge. Listen, everybody that's on behind the scenes, hey, put it in there. Happy birthday, Mr. Lethbridge. Megan Cower, how are you? Yes. Hey, which our OHL team goal? Of course. And this very good friends of mine, Megan. Of course, the Fables I've known extremely well. Thank you for being on here tonight. Yeah, you're in the behind the scenes. So if you want to listen to the music side of it, Megan, it is www.mix985.ca. Then you'll get to listen to the music side of it. This is the behind the scenes. And if you want to go over to Facebook, there's a lot more people on that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I better start. Well, good evening, Newfoundlanders and those who wish to be. It is I, Dean Clark, on a show called Jigs and Reels Radio KW. It is the only show that plays nothing but music of Newfoundland of all genres outside of Newfoundland. Yeah, isn't that crazy? From here in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Happy Cinco de Mayo Day. By the way, if you're wondering, no, I have not. I got Megan on the TikTok side of things, and her parrot's trying to fight her for the phone. Tell the parrot to back off. Back off! That's all you need to say. We're on the behind the scenes, and we are live. Stephen Lethbridge is on there. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Paul Bump is back. Emily Gladys is on. It is a show of all shows. Let me tell you, it is going to be a fun time tonight. Lots of great new music on the show tonight. Madeline Smoked Salmon. I absolutely freaking love that name. Smoked Salmon. And the logo is unreal. Sean Wheaton, a vet, thank you very much, sir, for your service. We'll talk about his song. Kim Hamlin's got a new one out. Rachel Cousins, yes, I forgot to play the song last week, but I got it this week. I know. And, of course, Madeline's got a new one out, and it's a little messy of a song. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But the highlight tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the highlight tonight Megan's over on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen on Facebook, make sure you say hi to Megan. She was from TikTok, migrated over. Tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, it is one of my favorite shows. I had the chance to talk to him last year. And, actually, no, it's probably been a couple of years now. I get to talk to the legend, the man himself, the guy who's iconic. If there were at any time a walk of fame down George Street, down Water, wherever in Newfoundland, this man would be one of the first 5, if not the top 3, to get his name on one of those stars. I'm talking about Bud Davidge. That's right. Bud is going to be on the show tonight in about 10 minutes time, where we're going to have a chat with him. He's got a new album out, and the album is called All for a Song, produced by the one and only Fitzy himself, down at the recording studio of Fitzy's. But we're going to talk to him about the album. Nothing, anything else. We're going to talk to him strictly about the album, because we did the one show for 2 hours a while ago. We're going to do it now. It's going to be just about the album. Got 6 tracks. If you want to hear it, it's going to be released very, very soon. Yeah. Oh, I am so pumped to talk to Bud again. We all wished a Mr. Stephen Lethbridge a happy birthday. But first, to kick off tonight's show, happy anniversary to the Fitzpatricks. That's right. We're talking about none other than the man himself, Mr. Fitzy, and of course, Miss Risa. This is it. The song is called Soulmate. He said it was easier to write a song and record it than to buy a card. You're such a hapless romantic, brother.
I can't even fix a car.
Hello, Gloria Aitken. How's Aunt Gloria? You're just in time to hear the song. And Paul Bump, thank you for welcoming Megan to the crew. Again, those that are on the TikTok side of things, hey. I think it's almost time to start a bang for a Monday night. Who's in for a bang tonight? I know a couple of you are for a bang. This is my energy drink of choice tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bang Energy Drink. It is the Peach Mango. You will soon find out, Megan, if this is your very first time on the behind the scenes, how whacked out one can go on energy drinks. Sociable! Yeah, Paul, it's time for a bang. Ah.
You're still the perfect one. I count my blessings every day from you.
Beautiful song, Fitzy. Beautiful song, brother, man. Oh. Hey, no one made a comment on my shirt yet. Does anybody actually remember this? Does anybody know where this is from? Fitzy, this is a well-written song, dude. You can write the phone book, man. Come and knock on my door. I knew you'd remember it, Paul, because you're that age. Well, Mr. Jeremy, you're going to get to hear it tonight. I like the, hello, Lorna Lovell. Oh, my goodness. How in the hell have you been? I haven't talked to you in forever. Please tell me you got some new music coming out, Miss Lovell, please. Every so often, I hear one of your songs on the online radio station. I'm like, oh, man. And I bet you Dave didn't cry once during that song. Did ya? Not at all.
Just when I think I won't love anymore, I do. It's a fall for you harder than before.
Ugh.
Just when I think I have no more love.
Oh, so I'm talking to Toby Taylor. He's one of the guys that's on the part of smoked salmon. I don't know what he's smoking, if it's not salmon or not, but he can't get the post going. Oh, man. Steven, me buddy. Me Irish loop buddy. How's the Guinness flowing tonight, Steven? All right. I'm pretty freaking stoked, man. I'm pretty freaking stoked. Oh, so he sent it to the wrong post. Oh, man. I hope you're watching the behind the scenes. Toby, if you're watching, man, that's that's funny, man. That's funny, brother. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Davidge.
Hey.
How are you now?
All right.
Good boy. Listen, you know what? I say this to everybody that I talk to on the phone. Thank you for doing your hair tonight for me. I said, thank you for doing your hair for me tonight.
Right.
You got her brushed, did you? You took the brush to it?
Yeah.
How are you, my friend? It has been a long time since you and I chatted.
Yeah, I'm trying to get who you are now.
It's Dean Boy from Waterloo from the show.
Hey, got you now.
Gee,
Oh,
yeah, but
I'm playing here from Labrador.
oh, are you?
Yeah,
Jesus.
but that's fine.
He's still up there.
His head's in the clouds.
Hold on a second now, Dave.
Yep.
Labrador, do that.
Yeah, I bet it will. All right, we got 10 seconds. How about that? Oh, man. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on Mix 98.5. That is none other than Lloyd Snow's son, Lucas Snow, and just when I think David Fitzpatrick for his anniversary because he couldn't afford a card. That was Soulmate, so he wrote a song and recorded it. You know what? I do that to Dane all the time and my parents. My dad used to do that to my mom. You know, they go into the dollar store, into the, pharmacy, and they look at a card and they pick out the card. They'd hand it to each other and they say, "Oh, I love you. Happy anniversary." Then they put the cards back and they walk out. But is that what you do to the missus? You go in and look at the cards and then say, "Hey, this is your anniversary gift. Happy anniversary, love. I love you," and then turn around and walk out?
Well, I think I probably have done that. I'm not sure about it.
Listen, it is so good. I got Bud Davidge on the line. He's up in Labrador right now.
I just got back.
Oh, he just got back from Labrador. That was a quick flight. About 5 minutes ago, I thought you were up there.
No, we were up there for Saturday and Sunday and did two shows, one in Gooseberry and one in Labrador City.
Now, what's it like to play in the big land?
Yeah, we left up there today around 12 o'clock, around noon, and got in here 5-something.
Wow.
But we had a great trip.
I can imagine. Now, you were up there with Shani, were you not?
Shanny got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, listen, we're going to talk about your album, but you're doing a lot with Shanny. You're doing stuff with Hamilton Sound. Now, the last time you and I talked was over a year ago, and I asked you the same question then. Bud, what is your secret, my friend, to keep going like this, man?
Well, maybe if you listen to the very first song, you'll get the answer to that.
Well, why don't we get into it? You got a new album coming out. It was recorded and produced by none other than our very good friend, Mr. Fitzy himself. What was it like to work with Dave?
Oh, it was great. And not the first time, of course. I worked with Dave back in 2018 when I did the Christmas album.
Yep.
Called The Gift of Freedom. But at that time, we did everything remotely. And we sent stuff across on the transfers and stuff, and emails and that sort of thing. So Dave is really, really good a guy, and very, very efficient. He does work very, very quickly, but he does it very, very well.
Yeah.
So at that time, like I said, we did it all remote. Even the vocals, which I recorded and sent it out to him. And he adapted to the music and all that sort of thing. This time, myself and Paul Hamilton from Hamilton Sound.
Yep.
Paul was my accordion man, so he and I went out to Dave's studio and spent most this part of the day out there and recorded 6 or so songs that I had not already done. I had some songs in the can.
Yeah.
That are on the album, and then we finished up out with Dave. So it was a great experience. It always is, David.
Yeah.
I really like his style, and I really like his efficiency. And of course, he's a great musician. He's an all-around musician.
Oh, and he's such a fun guy to be around too. You know what I mean? Like, he's personable, he's humble, he's just a great guy to be. It sounds like almost like you. Yep.
Yes, he's really good to work with, and a great experience being in the studio itself rather than doing the stuff remotely, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. But it is such an honor to have you on the show again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this all for a song, and then we're going to talk about it. We've got 6 songs that we're going to play from the album, and there's 12. Is there 10 or 12 on the album?
There's 12 altogether, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to only sneak peek 12. If you want to listen, sneak peek 6. If you want to listen to the full album, you're going to have to freaking go get it yourself. But yeah, I will let you know that this is going to be one hell of an album. It is Bud's latest. It is called All for a Song is the name of the album. And we're going to play the song, title track, All for a Song, on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. All right. So this is the soundtrack, is it? Of how you stay young.
My name on you.
Buddy, you still have the same voice as you did with Seminar. You know that?
You know, that's what everybody keeps telling me, and I keep using it as often as I can. That's probably it's one of the muscles that you got to keep using if you want to keep it rusty, you know?
That's for sure. Gorgeous. Oh my God. You're giving me chills.
He ain't an old trigger again on the road. There's no point in asking why it's done it so long. Answer is easy. It's all for a song. It's all for a song.
Oh, man.
It's all for a song and the love of the fan.
And I'll tell you, having Paul on the squeeze box, that dude can play anything.
Oh, yeah, Paul's good. He reminds me so much of Sim's style.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and that's why I think I've been attracted to him for quite a few years now. Once I got to hear him, we played way back first time in a show that we did at the Holy Art Theater down here in St. John.
Yeah, yeah.
And at that time, I think it was a show where we had some of the old timers like myself. Eddie Coffey was there, Eddie Eastman was there, and the late Corey.
Yep.
Corey Crew.
Yep.
We had a grandson.
Oh my goodness! Like that's the
ever since that.
Like the stories you guys could tell, eh? Like just to be in a fly on the wall with the stories you guys have. My goodness.
Yeah, well, that's true, Brian. I guess it comes with the experiences, and you
have
quite a few of them. You know.
Yep. Yep. No, man. It's. I'm in awe just to have you on the show again. I'm like a kid again. I'm like a kid when I got your first cassette when I first did the show back in 1988, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I get to play this. Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing, but great that you're doing what you're doing up there too to promote the music, and without that, of course, we would be missing out on a whole lot of experience being transmitted out there to the general public and all of our people who want to hear the songs.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and that's why I do it, man. It's like what you say here at All for a Song. It's about the passion, right? It's about the love of the music.
Yeah, it is so.
Yeah.
It is indeed. And of course, when you get it reflected back, like we were just in Goose Bay and Lodge City, and talking to all of the folks that came by at the end of the show, buying the CDs and wanting them signed and all that stuff.
Oh.
And how much they appreciate coming back and doing the shows for them, you know. And it's the kind of thing that really gives you the motivation to want to do it as often as you can.
That's it. That's it. Hold that thought, because here we go. Bow, 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 bow. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. That is All for a Song. Brand new. That is the title track from Mr. Bud Davidge. And before the song, we were talking about what makes Bud tick and what makes him go and what makes him move like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. Everything was listed in that song. And off the behind the scenes here, we were talking when the mic was off, talking about how you, Bud, were up in Lab City and Goose Bay talking about everyone coming up and you were signing the cassettes. And you know, that's what makes you continue on, is the fact that people know who you are, loves your music, and just shows the appreciation. And if I can add to that, Bud, it's the fact that you actually stay behind and continue to sign autographs, and your humility that you have, because again, there's you, Ray Johnson, you know, Paul Hamilton, of the legends that have been around for years that still get out and do this and still get into the public eye and still get to sign the cassettes, the CDs. And that's rewarding for you, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's absolutely rewarding. And you know, like in Labrador City when we went out, there was a young guy there, a young fellow there with his guitar, brand new guitar. Yeah, he's just learning how to play. I wondered if I would sign it for him.
Oh, wow!
He was probably 15 or so. Then there was a lady there with a little boy in her arms, and two, as a matter of fact. She had one by her, and I said, "Do you like the songs, little man?" And he said, "Yes, sir, indeed I do." And she said, "They just love the music, and they know the words and everything of the songs." And you know, this is so. I mean, I've been on the go at this for just about 50 years.
Wow!
And when you see these little kids, and young people who were not even born when we started doing this stuff, and here they are listening to it, to the old the songs and the new ones that we're putting out.
Yep.
And they're all keyed up over it. I mean, you know, it's totally amazing, really.
Well, what it is the fact that it's the generations, like my parents, it brought me into this. And then all of a sudden, I had my kids on the air when I did this in 88 to 08, and to listen to have every one of your cassettes and play that and know pretty much every word to every song, etc. And then it's the generations that continue, like that lady, the mom with the two kids, their kids are going to grow up listening to Sam and I, listening to Bud, listening to the traditionalists, and then moving on. And that's what keeps Newfoundland music alive and keeps it going too.
Oh, no question about it. Absolutely, no question about it. It's one of the fundamental ingredients in what we do.
Yep.
And the fact that they reflect back to us, feedback to us, that they enjoy it, that they appreciate it. I mean, what else would you need to keep you
That's it.
trying to do it again? That sort of thing.
Absolutely. Now, this song, Can't You Understand That? Tell me about that song and how you came up with that.
Well, that song came out of an old Land and Sea program that was done down here in Newfoundland. I think one of the earliest ones has been on to go for 60 years or whatever.
Yep.
And it was done down in Placentia Bay in a little community called Great Paradise. And they went down to film the fact that resettlement was about to take place down there. As many communities in Placentia and Fortune Bay, of course, and all around the province.
Mm-hmm.
This thing happened back in the 50s, 60s, and so forth. Anyway, the family that they decided to talk to was the Pomeroy family down there, and particularly the matriarch, I suppose you could say, Mrs. Patricia Pomeroy, was talking to the gentleman who was hosting the program. I think it was Al Andrews at the time, one of the earliest programs.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Pomeroy was outlining to him. He was on the wharf. She was down in her fishing boat with her husband. They inshore fishery.
Yeah.
And she was explaining to him all of the reasons why they didn't want to leave their little community. Everything they owned and worked for all their lives was there. Their house, their stores, their wharves, their boats, their graveyard, for example, their church.
Yep.
Everything that was part of their lives for so many years was there. And at the end of her conversation to this gentleman on the wharf was, "Can't you understand that?" And that has always resonated with me and I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And it resonated with me to the point where a few years back, I think probably about 3 or 4 years now, maybe, that I said, I wish I could put that phrase into a song and build around it with the words of Mrs. Pomeroy. And I did it. I was happy with it myself, so I put it up on an MP3 file on the internet. And my goodness, the number of people that came looking for it was unbelievable.
Yep.
And they always say to me, "Have you got it on a CD?" And I said, "No, not yet."
And here it is. It is now. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah. So that's how it came about, and
Wicked.
we do it all the time in the public shows and the performances, and it goes over really, really well, and it touches people, even today, about the resettlement program back there. And that again, with the new generations that are still seeing what that meant for their families and their grandparents and all that sort of thing. So that's amazing too.
Yep. You know what? And I love your songwriting. So let's give her a listen. Can't You Understand That? Brand new Bud Davidge off of the All for a Song album that's just soon to be released. This is song number 2. Jigs and Reels Radio KW Mix 98.5. Yeah, I remember getting this one from Dave, or was it from Linda? I forget which one I got it from. And oh man,
We got it from Linda because we were still performing it before it got recorded, you see.
That's would have been, yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on the behind the scenes. Hope you're enjoying the show. Remember, mix985.ca is where you want to go to listen to the audio side of it. This will be uploaded tonight when I get home from the gym. I got the legendary Bud on the phone lines all the way from St. John's. And he even took a shower for me tonight, so thank goodness. I got a lot of people on the behind the scenes. Tom Ryan said, way to go, Bud. You are a brilliant musician. God love you. Dave Fitz says, thank you. You are a gem. Jeremy James, who's one of my longtime listeners, said, I have Saltwater Cowboys and Heaven by Sea on vinyl and have all the Semini albums on CD. Let's see. Bud's voice never changed at all. Bud's the legend. Vern is even on here, right here, too, with you. I think you know who Vern Hiscock is, eh? So I got Vern on the behind the scenes, too, buddy. Man. Oh, yes. The whole band is good, Pie. Yeah.
They're a joy to be with, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? And I got Kevin Winters, another freaking amazing accordion player. He's on here. Actually asked Bud for the lyrics to his song, Can't You Understand That, which is now. And the Toutons for the Toutons, and he took the time to send me the lyrics. So he says thank you. Yeah. Now that's it. That's another legendary Paul Nolan and those guys and Skinner. I said the Fausti Toutons, man. Again, there's so much great music in Newfoundland that just new, old, everything in between, man. Everything in between. And to keep the spirit alive, I've always said this, Bud, is Newfoundland has its own identity in music, no matter what it is. And for such a small province, there is so much music that comes out of there.
Oh, absolutely right, and it's a computer style, and we have our own style, and that sort of thing. We sing a lot about our own experiences and our own culture.
Yep.
And our own history and all that sort of thing. So the mix of it makes it a very particular style, and it stands out as a result, I think, of that.
Yep, absolutely. I completely agree. And no matter if it's rock, like a Nick Earl song or any, it still has that Newfoundland vibe to it.
Absolutely right.
Yep. And you know what? It's the fact that it's still homegrown music. And, and that's what my job is, to get this out of Newfoundland, because it's great that Newfoundland stations do what they do, but I want to take that the step further and, be the best that I can be to bring so many other people that are not from Newfoundland west around the world to listen to this and to get the word out there.
Yeah, and that's so important to do. Of course, we've had lots of contacts from across the province, across the world. And they feel the same way.
Yep.
About the music, it touches them somewhere along the way. The storytelling, the fact that it's indigenous to our culture and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Hold that thought, Bud. We'll talk about that.
Very unique, Glenn. Yeah.
Jigs and Reels Radio, KW, Mix 98.5. Now, can't you understand that? Talking about resettlement. Now, that I don't remember. I've always just heard stories of it and seen old footage of those houses being moved across the water and people pulling it and bringing it to their new areas. Bud, you were around that time. You wrote that song based on Mrs. Pomeroy and her experience and her saying, can't you understand that? And again, the songs, we talked about this on the behind when the mic was off, the fact that Newfoundland music has its own identity. I've been preaching this since day one, but the fact that it's all about storytelling to music.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the main ingredients in it.
Yeah.
And I remember a long time ago with myself and Sim Savory, when we had the Semini band going for 20 years. We'd do some concerts in the summertime. We'd do some festivals and that.
Yep.
And the tourists would be around. And I remember one comment that I had from a lady. I think she was from somewhere in Ontario or across the country somewhere.
Yeah.
And she said, what I appreciate about the songs and things that you guys do, you sing about yourselves and you sing about your culture and your history and all that. She said, that's pretty unique, and not every province, you don't find the music that comes out elsewhere to the extent that it does in Newfoundland and Labrador. And I said, well, that's nice, unique perspective, ma'am, and I appreciate you saying it. And but she's absolutely right. Of course, we do it without thinking along that lines that we're doing this for promotion of it or anything. We're not thinking that way. We're just doing it as a natural outcome of what we've learned and what we've experienced over the years.
Yep.
And learned about and what our history is. Being an island, I think, and remote areas like Labrador and Newfoundland,
Mm-hmm.
I think this has a particular flavor to it that we have been able to incorporate in the music and in the song.
Absolutely. Now I wasn't going to do this, but because somebody on the behind the scenes has mentioned this, Wayne Wanda Reed, true gentleman, she says. Her brother died 6 years ago from brain cancer, and Music and Friends was his favorite song. She wanted it played at his funeral. I called Trevor Fagan, and Bud was there with him, and Bud sang the song at his funeral. Such an honor to have him there.
I do remember that. Paul was with us too at the time. There was three of us.
There you go. And you know what? We just finished talking about how you would do anything for anybody to a certain, and it's about the music, and Music and Friends, of course, is synonymous with Saltwater Joys, with any other song, with a Harry Hibbs track, but it is the iconic song of Newfoundland. And what you did for Wanda and Wayne Reed's, for the brother,
Yes.
that goes beyond being a musician. That goes to being a human being and a gentleman, like she said.
It was at Hickey's funeral home out in CBS, and I recall it really, really vividly at the moment. I'm thinking about it. I could see the audience, and these things are not easy to do.
Yeah.
In these settings because of the grief and so forth that's being portrayed.
Of course.
But they're so important to do. And this, again, is another ingredient that I find that musicians around the province, in Newfoundland, and it's around St. John's, everywhere,
Yeah.
they jump right in to do these kinds of things for people. And on a regular basis, I mean, we've done numerous ones for people who are raising money because they're sick or
that
kind of thing, or musicians who have passed away, and you want to respect their tradition, their
of course,
history, and so forth, and their contribution.
Yep.
And we do that all the time, and all of the musicians around. I mean, it's amazing when you come to size it up. We do so many of them. I'm just trying to single out one or two now. A friend of ours who passed away, a musician, and we did a thing at O'Reilly's downtown. I would think there were probably, 20, 25 musicians and their band, to come together and to make their contribution free of charge.
Yeah.
No payment of any kind other than to do something for the family, do something for the remembrance of the person, and we continue to do that. That is another significant aspect of Newfoundland musicians, especially.
And that's called being a family. No matter what industry you're in the music industry in Newfoundland. You all know everybody from every part of town. You know what everybody does because Newfoundland is so small. George, Water, CBS, wherever, you know who people are, and you're going to run into them 6 or 7 times. But yes, when somebody passes, Chris Ryan to be exactly, when he passed, that music community came together like no other.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to be recognized at ECMAs. And I think it's a true honor to have somebody like him being recognized. And it just brings everybody together. Speaking of kind of bringing everybody together, this next song, Only a Fisherman, When the Maker Comes Calling.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the story?
It's another one of these experiences that I've had, which I built a song around.
Yep.
One way and fishing. It goes back probably to the moratorium.
Oh, wow.
The fishery got shut down here with the northern cod and that sort of thing. I think it was round about that time. I was listening to a broadcast, either it was the fisheries broadcast, which we have here on CBC,
Yep.
or it was another interview on one of the other television programs or something, or other news or something. But anyway, the Johnson family, Johnson fishermen, Oakley Johnson and his brother Earl, out in North Harbour, Placentia Bay, they had moved in from a small community, Spencer's Cove, I think it was, out in Placentia Bay. But anyway, they're very well renowned inshore fishery. And whenever the media wanted to get a perspective on what was going on, how things were going and so forth, how they felt about what was happening, they would oftentimes would call these brothers, Johnson boys, and have an interview with them and ask them these questions.
Yeah.
And on one particular occasion, I remember Oakley. I knew Oakley pretty well, and his wife Elsie up there in North Harbour.
Yeah.
Spencer Bay. And anyway, one of the questions that was posed, and Oakley answered, well, he said, I just forget what the question was, but anyway, he said, don't forget, after all, I'm only a fisherman. And I suppose it was probably one of these complicated questions.
Of course.
That they might pose about the financial situation of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, he said, I'm only a fisherman. And Jesus, I said, that's... Yeah. So I built the song around it, and I put Johnson's name. I put Oakley's name in there. I mentioned it to his wife. I told her I was going to do it. It's not a biography of the Johnson boys, but they are the character that I inserted in the song.
Incredible.
And she was fine. Elsie said, that we'd appreciate if you did that. And so I did. As a matter of fact, on that album, when you open up the cover of the CD, you will see a picture of Elsie and Oakley Johnson. There, myself and Sim did a 25th anniversary for them, show for them out there in North Harbour, way back in the 80s or something, I think it was.
My God.
So, as a matter of fact, if somebody forced me to say, what do you think of the songs that are on this record, on this album, do you have a favorite? If I was forced to say it, I would pick that one, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, not going to force you, but we know that this is probably your favorite song. Here is Only a Fisherman When the Maker Comes Calling on a brand new album called All for a Song, none other than Mr. Bud Davidge himself, on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. And this is Paul doing the accordion, right?
Sure. Also, yeah.
Yep.
But on that song, yeah.
Yep.
Marcus Cock is on the Can't You Understand That? And Marcus Cock is on there with the COVID.
Oh, so Mark joined in as well, did he? Mark joined in as well, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Man, you got the legends on this album.
From John Sam, Driggs from Coomscope down in Portrait Bay is on there on a couple songs too.
Really?
I got the cream of the crop here.
Oh, boy, do you ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had anyone that'll be letting you fish in all of your days? Have you seen anything like this? They say that you're thinking about leaving. You wound up his knee, stuck a knife in the post, sat down on a troll truck, lit up the smoke, and said not a word for a moment or two. Then here's some things that ain't told them. You see my initials, OJ, on that door. We Johnsons have been here a century and more. If we leave this place, they'll be gone from this shore. No, sir, we got no plans to leaving.
Wow.
I'm only a fisherman, as you can see.
You know, this song speaks volumes because my uncles were fishermen still. So, you know, my cousins now. But, you know, but you remember in the day when the cod was so plentiful that the boats would almost be underwater with the cod they'd come back with. And I remember my uncle standing on the dock and the wharf and just waiting for them to come in. And the cod, they would be up to their waist in cod in the boat. You know, and those days, those are memories. And this song speaks not just the Johnsons, but for the Lays, for the Clarks, for everybody that were fishermen before the moratorium took place.
Yes, sir. Absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I feel about the song, too. And I think it will resonate. I mean, there's always problems, and there always has been problems in the fishery here. And the harvesters have worked their butts off to try to make a living doing it. And they still are doing it. They're still struggling to do it. And so it's a tribute to all of them, to be honest with you.
Yep, I totally agree. All right, hold that thought.
Sure, man, that's all I am. I can tell you a lot about fishing, young man. Lives fishing them waters and strength in these bones. We'll be here till the maker comes. Won't leave till the maker comes home.
Jigs and Reels Radio KW Mix 98.5. That is none other than Bud Davidge off of the new CD titled All for a Song. And that's only a fisherman when the makers comes calling. Now, we talked about Bud, about how that song basically resonates with every fisherman in Newfoundland, whether it is before moratorium, after the moratorium. Now, one thing, okay, when you were talking about that story, and I sat back and I started laughing. And the reason why I was laughing, Bud, is every person you remember, every date, every location. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, my God, you are an encyclopedia of knowledge, my friend. And it comes out in every one of these songs. So before we get any further, I just personally want to say thank you for not stopping doing what you're doing, Bud.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
For sure. Now, Ode to Crippled Soldiers. This one is self-explanatory, I am sure. But, of course, everyone's listening to the stories of these songs. What is the story behind this one, and where did you get the inspiration from?
Well, first of all, the inspiration came from a song that Merle Haggard did some years back called Me and Crippled Soldiers. And it's a sort of a cry for people to recognize, for everybody to recognize the sacrifice that our soldiers make, and to pay respect for them, you know, when they come back and become veterans and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes these contemplations get left out to the extent that Merle didn't think they should, and I didn't think they should either. So I thought, well, I liked that song really much for the sentiment that it had, and I could easily apply it to what I was hearing about our veterans sometimes.
Yep.
In our own country up here, and we're a great, great country. There's no two ways about that. Probably the best in the world.
Absolutely.
You know, we do respect our folks who go overseas and come back, but sometimes they fall through the cracks, and they shouldn't. And there was one particular incident that I remembered hearing about in the news of a veteran who came over from Afghanistan who had lost his legs in the war. And when he applied for his veterans allowances and so forth, they made him every single year to reapply and to prove that he was crippled. And so, you know, that sort of said to me, you know, geez, there's something wrong about this.
Yeah.
So, so I adapted Merle's style and some aspects of his music that he put to his song, and I rewrote my own version of it, applying it to our veterans here in Canada, and so that's how it worked out. And matter of fact, to make the punch line with respect to that one particular soldier.
Yep.
His name was Paul. He was from out on the West Coast or out on the prairie somewhere, I believe. And I put that in there as well as best I could. And so that's where it all came from. A good friend of mine lives in Nova Scotia. He's from Newfoundland. Him and his son did the music. Cyril Ingram, you probably.
Yes, I know Cyril. Yep.
Cyril did some of the music on there and the recording of the music.
Oh.
Paul did the guitar music on there, which was very reminiscent of what Merle had done with his song. And I really liked it. And I said, that was about 5 years ago. And I said, Cheryl, and Cheryl would remind me every now and then, say, you're going to put that song together. And I said, well, I'll do it some of these days, put the lyrics to the music. So I said, I'm going to hold on to the music that they made. And I said to Dave, now here's the music that the boys made for me. And he said there was a couple little things that he would talk to Cyril about, see if he could enhance them in some way. And,
yeah.
And he did.
Of course.
The drums probably or something like that. But anyway, I was very pleased with the way that it came out. And it's a tribute to our veterans. And I hope if they hear it, that they will appreciate what it is I'm trying to do, and if I said it well enough or not.
You know what? You did, Bud. And I'll tell you right now, it's not just a show. We all should be showing some appreciation every day, any day. This is Ode to Crippled Soldiers from Bud Davidge off of the brand new album called All for a Song. Looking forward to this one. Jigs and Reels Radio KW. Mix 98.5. Oh my God, do I know Cyril? I've got a shit ton of songs from him. Oh man, like I think when I got back onto this, I think he sent me like 4 USBs, like just all of his songs.
Yeah, he's a very versatile man.
Oh, Daddy is.
Really good at it, and he loves music, he loves country music, he loves Merle Andrews, I'll tell you that much.
Yep, that he does. Yeah, that's a guy I'm going to have on my show sometime soon too, for sure. So I'm going to play the Seaman's Wife and Don't Call Us Common Sailors for our night. How's that? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's good.
Wicked.
Yeah, sure.
Wicked, buddy.
You didn't include the Seaman's Wife there. You did, but sometime or other you'll probably play that too.
No, I'm going to play that one after this one. We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Don't you worry.
Fighting wars with broken minds and broken hearts, and we give them heroes welcomes on TV.
I got a song from a guy by the name of Sean Wheaton that Fitz just recorded a song for him, and he's a war vet himself, so it's kind of fitting that I'm playing this song as I'm going to be playing one of his songs from a war vet later on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Dean, we were talking earlier on about how we reflect our culture and all of the things that make us up here.
Yep.
And of course, our Royal Newfoundland Regiment and so forth is a very, very important ingredient in that as well. And I've had the opportunity to write a song that includes them. I did the Little Blue Forget-Me-Not.
Yep.
The flower, of course, that was the ceremonial flower of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment here in Newfoundland.
That's right. And that is the biggest thing that people forget, that Newfoundland had probably a bigger role, but an in-behind role in all the wars that the other Canadians really don't know about. Because, you know,
That's absolutely true. And to say that, you know, I had the occasion way back when I was doing the blue, forget me not plowing. I talked to an historian here in Newfoundland, a great historian. He's passed away now. Nelson Sharon, his name was. And Nelson said, "Do you realize?" He said, "I showed him a song I was writing, and he said, geez, he said, that's really good. I really like that." And he said, "You realize that the Newfoundland Regiment fought in the War of 1812. You know, when the Americans and the British fought across the border,
right,
in the War of 1812.
Right.
And he said, our soldiers were up there. I got a little book," he said, about how they fought in the Lake Detroit area. And sure enough, I read it. And so, you know,
wow.
Like you say, we've been right across the country and
Yep.
involved in wars all over the world, as a matter of fact.
That's it. You know what? I totally agree. And people forget that because, again, Newfoundland fought under the Queen's Guard before they were, you know, part of Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's right.
Well,
So,
of course, the July draw, that was 1916.
yep, exactly. Right. So not a lot of people remember that. All right, here we go. Ba, ba, ba. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW Mix 98.5. That's Bud Davidge, an ode to crippled soldiers, and from the album All for a Song. We are actually playing 6 of the 12 tracks from that album right now, and I have none other than the legend himself, Mr. Bud Davidge, on the phone from St. John's. How's the weather down there, by the way? I haven't even asked that tonight. How is it?
Well, today we've had some miserable weather, but then April is never very kind to us.
No.
Here. We've had a great winter, but April is usually always not very kind. You never know what you're going to get. And
True.
Sometimes it's pretty nasty what you do get.
Yep.
But it's changing here now, and we had a lovely day. It's a lovely day. It's cool. But the week coming up, I think we're into 12, 15, 16, and so forth degrees. So it's coming around.
Well, you know what? You know, there was a song. I remember this song. It was called "The Loveliest Day in June." You've heard that song before, haven't you? You know what? And it's coming. Don't worry. The loveliest day in June, July, August, September. There's lots of lovely days that are going to be coming. The album is called All for a Song. Bud, where and when is this album going to be available for anybody to download?
It's now available all over the downloads, iTunes, and somebody was telling me the other day they just downloaded the album a few days ago. And so it's out there, Spotify,
Perfect.
iTunes, and a whole raft of other platforms.
Yeah, and of course, with Paul Bump being in America, it is tariff-free, by the way, so you don't have to worry about paying any tariffs on Bud Davidge's album, okay? Just so we all know.
And I have the CDs out now, and they're available now in St. John's at all these stores, O'Brien's and Fred's and Piper's. They'll be across the country. We'll have them in Gander.
Beautiful. So there you go. So on hard drive and on the CDs and on the internet, everywhere to go. So you can pick up Bud's new album. Yep. So The Seaman's Wife. This is track 7 off of the album. Talk to me a little bit about this song. And I know this is pretty much one of the premier songs on it, but where did the inspiration come from this one now?
Back in the history of us, especially with the fishing industry and
Yep.
so forth, we often write songs and write stories and write books
Yep.
about the tragedies and that have taken place and about the triumphs that have taken place. And it's usually about the men gone away fishing from home and so forth on the schooners and so forth. And sometimes it has been not given enough emphasis to talk about the women folk, our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, aunts,
Yep.
our women folk who looked out to the home fires and kept them burning brightly and raised the families and survival stuff, the gardens and the
Yep.
livestock, and you name it.
Yep, they were nurses, they were doctors, they were psychiatrists, they were everything when the men went away to go fishing.
Yeah. So there's been a few songs like you take the old Tiny Red Light, for
Yep.
example, goes way back. That sort of touches on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did one called My Kind of Heroes back way back in the 80s, and I touched on it there. And I had written this song back in, I think, 93.
Oh, wow.
And somehow or other it didn't get recorded. And it was there, and I said, this time when I'm doing another record, this song is going to be on the album. And it's really what it is. It's a tribute to our women folk who kept the fires burning, kept the lifetime going, the survival going, while the men were away on the boats, fishing, or wherever they happened to be. In my own case, my father and that generation went off on the banking schooners, around
Yep.
the province or in Nova Scotia and Lunenburg and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So it's a tribute to raise the emphasis on the part that our women folk have played over the years, and the great part. I mean, the amazing part when it comes to size it up. It's totally amazing how they managed to be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Let's listen to it. A dedication to the men that went out to see The Seaman's Wife from Bud Davidge's new album, All for a Song, on Jigs and Reels Radio KW with Bud on the phone on Mix 98.5.
There's many a tale of courage throughout our history.
So it is available, everybody, on Spotify and all your favorite streaming platforms. I know this will be one that I'll be definitely downloading. No worries about that. Looking forward to that one.
Trouble finding it, they find me on Messenger or Facebook, and they can contact me, and I can send it to them directly.
Beautiful.
A few people have already come in, and I'm sending them out to them in the mail.
Nice. Yeah, I'll send you a message. I would love to have a signed one from you, personally autographed, so I can put it on my wall of fame. Now, Linda's on the behind the scenes talking about the pilgrimage Auschwitz.
Yes.
Now, that one I'm not going to play. I'm going to save that one for a little bit, but we're not going to talk about it. I can almost tell what it's going to be about. Yes. So we'll leave that one. She said it's absolutely spellbinding. So.
Linda happened to have the experience of being there, which I still haven't had, but I
yeah.
To do someday to have it.
It's on my bucket list.
That I've done, and the videos and the documentaries that I've watched over the years, which have amount to quite a lot of volumes.
I can imagine. That definitely is on my bucket list. To do that, that would be it would be a life changer. I'm sure Linda did for you. It would be a complete life changer. For anybody that has done it. Like I said, we talked about Linda. Linda is a gem. I love her. She's like my older sister. Not that much older, Linda. You're not that much older than me, but you're my older sister.
Amazing.
Oh, you know what? The very first time I met Linda, I knew that we were going to have a long-lasting friendship like Fitz. Hell, you know what, Bud, like everybody else I meet, you know what? There's people that you just click with, you know what I mean? And you become family right away. And that's the way I feel about you. You and I have talked and texted and everything like that. And it's just, you know what? We may not see each other, but all it takes is just a little bit of conversation, and we're back like as if we talked to each other last week. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, sir.
Yep. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's for sure. I agree with you 100%.
Yep. All right. Hold on. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. That is brand new for Bud Davidge and the Seaman's Wife. All for a Song is the name of the album. Now, Bud, we've gone through 5 songs. We got one more left. You know what? I could talk to you all night. And the stories, we talked about this off the mic, about you and who you were with, like Paul and all those guys back in the day, Eddie. And just to be a fly on that wall, to listen to the stories after you guys have a few drinks in you, and just the yarn, just the conversation of where you guys have come from and where you've been and so forth. And we were talking about how your voice has not changed in as long as I've known you, and with Sam and I, your voice is the most recognizable voice. As soon as a song comes on and I hear that first note from you, Bud Davidge, know it. Like it's incredible. Now, if you don't mind me asking, Bud, we were talking about this before. I gotta ask you. We were talking about off the top, All for a Song, why you do this. So we talked about that, but these memories, the stories, the names, what's your secret? What are you eating to keep these memories going?
I don't know, really, to be honest with you. And some people have asked that question. I've asked it myself. Sometimes a song will, or the idea or inspiration of a song will come to you, and you ask yourself, well, why did it come, or where did it come from? But
yeah.
I suppose it's the conglomerate of all of your experiences over the years. And, I'm up there. I've had quite a few experiences, and I've been interested in my history and the culture, especially the outport culture, growing up in the outports and so forth. Very rich, when you come to think of it. And so all combined, I guess that's where it comes from.
And you know what? The stories that you tell are all real. Like, these are stories that you have taken from your experiences, put pen to paper, and now you wrote every single song on this album, correct?
Well, yeah, except there's one there called When the Trains Come In. That's a country song that was done by Charlie Pride. And we adapted it to the accordion with Paul playing the accordion, and Linda did a video of it. We were down in Torbay, I think it was, doing a show.
Yeah.
It did a complete video from beginning to end, and the thing went right through the roof on the YouTube. So, and people really liked the song. So I said, I think we'll put it on there. And a matter of fact, we were into Labrador. We did it twice, and this is the first time we've done this with Shanigan Out.
Oh, wow.
I happened to mention it when we were doing sound check, and I said, Chris, I got country song here that we're getting a lot of response from. What do you think? Probably we try. He said, yes, let's do it.
What's Chris going to say to you?
So we did it, and again, we got people in the audience who wanted to hear it, so they've already seen it.
Yeah.
The version that we did on the YouTube, and so we got that in our repertoire as well now, and it's a nice little song, and people really, really react to it.
Well, you know what? You could actually, gear that towards the Newfoundland Express. You could kind of say, hey, Charlie Pride wrote that about the Newfoundland Express, going around the island. But, you could make that your own almost.
Well, when we did it with Paul playing the accordion to it, of course, it was a country song.
Yeah.
But Paul didn't have any accordion.
No.
We got accordion in our version, so we've sort of adopted it.
You've Newfoundlandized it.
Newfoundland style,
Yeah, you've Newfoundlandized it. That they made it Newfoundland song.
Yeah,
you put it.
From that perspective. So,
anytime you put an accordion in a song, it becomes a Newfoundland song. That's it, exactly. So let's go on to our last song. Don't Call Us Common Sailors. The name says it all. Don't call us common sailors. What should we, and where did you get this idea from?
Well, that's very interesting, and this is down in Fortune Bay. We have a festival down there called in St. Jack's, Fortune Bay. We've had it now for, I think it's about 40 years.
Yeah.
And when we came to our 25th anniversary, which I think was 2011, I think it was around about there.
Yeah.
The organizers and all of us agreed, and Sam at the studio, we would do a recording, a CD recording, and we would put 25 songs on there, or 25 pieces on there.
Yeah.
I think there were a couple of recitations or something included in it as well. But anyway, 25 pieces, and to put on this celebratory CD for our festival. And the first song on it was "Don't Call Us Common Sailors." And the fellow who was doing it was Stanley Fyander from Coombs Cove, which is a small community down there, Fortune Bay, down close to English Harbor West in that area.
Yeah.
And Stanley was a great singer and a great musician. And this was one of the songs that they, in Coombs Cove, the families of Fyanders and so forth, had this old song for years and years and were singing it, but it had never been recorded. It had been recorded. So that was the very first time when we did it for the festival. And Stanley was singing, done a top of the line job on it, and all of us other musicians that were in the studio at the time chimed in on the song. So, mentioning Linda, back about 2 years ago now, I guess it was, Linda said we were going to do a series or a few shows relating to sailors and sea songs.
Yeah.
And so we started rounding up some of the familiar ones.
Of course.
Forth,
Yep.
That we knew, and put them in the repertoire. And I happened to think about this song, "Don't Call Us Common Sailors." I said, "Geez, I got a good one." And they never heard it before. Hamilton's crew didn't hear it before.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't very well known.
Yeah. So
I said, I'm going to dig up this song, and I'll put it in the repertoire as well. And when they heard it, they said, "Geez, that's a great song." Yes, it is. No two ways. So we did it, and we continue to do it pretty often, as a matter of fact. And Paul playing the accordion and so forth.
Yep.
So then when I did the record, I said, "No, I'm going to put it out. This is the second time now in the history of the song that we are familiar with. The history of the song, this is probably the second time ever that it's ever been recorded."
Wow.
So there you go. It's another one of these songs, and it fits right into the theme album, All for a Song. So
it's, you know what, I shake my head, Bud, because the fact that you've taken all these songs that you wrote and the album is named All for a Song. Every one of these songs is definitely tied into that name of the album.
Yeah, and on the last verse on that song, because it was an English song, I think originally that came over with the immigrations and so forth across to Newfoundland, probably in the mid 1800s or something thereabouts. Probably that's when it came over. But anyway, the last verse on it had to do with England and Britannia and so forth.
Sure.
I changed it to Canada, and we are the pride of Canada from the East Coast to the West. And so it's a tribute, that last verse is a tribute to our own service people, the sailors and, all of the service people, the Army, the Air Force, the whole works. But anyway, I put it particularly into Canada, and I'm so happy that I did it because, of course, at the moment, our loyalty is showing on our sleeves, and we want to say as much as we can about our country.
Yep, absolutely, and that's why no one calls us the common sailors.
Yep,
Bud,
exactly. We are the pride of Canada.
That's I. You know what? There is going to be no argument from me here, Bud. On behalf of all the listeners on the opposite side here, on the other side, brother, I am so thankful that we hooked up again and had this chance to chat about your album, and that's available now all across all social streaming under the name Bud Davidge, All for a Song. You're going to hear 6 tracks. You heard 6 tracks tonight. The stories, the information, the just you being you, Bud. I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us to keeping this music alive that you have. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more from you, because I know the stories behind these. I'm sure you got hundreds more.
Well, we'll see.
Hey, buddy, it's all for a song. Remember that, Bud. It's all for a song.
Thank you for doing what you do and getting it out there. And that's the important thing, to get it out so people can hear it, and if they appreciate it, which I'm sure they will, then there you go. We've done our work and we've done our job.
Absolutely. This is Don't Call Us Common Sailors on Jigs and Reels Radio KW from Bud Davidge on All for a Song. My friend, I want to say thank you so much. You made my night, and you made my week, and you made my month, Bud. I can't. I'm awestruck. The stories, just having a chat with you is so cool tonight, buddy.
Yeah, sir, I really do, and I look forward to doing something like it again.
Hey, man, we each got each other's number. My line's always open, bud.
Okay, Dave, thank you.
You betcha. Bye, sir.
God bless you, all your audience out there.
And back at you, buddy. God bless you too, buddy. Okay.
They would not call us common, were they sometimes in our place?
Woo! That was something. That was absolutely something.
The young girls of this country will bless their coming days. We'll bring the silks and satins from which their dresses made. To win the hearts of some young men like fancy dresses do. So don't despise, say it while the sailors on the blue.
Again, but just...
Don't call us common sailors anymore. Don't call us common
Wow.
sailors anymore.
Oh, buddy.
Don't call us common sailors, don't call us common men. We're as good as any man on the shore. We are
I am beyond.
from the east coast to the west, and when our country needs us, we're better.
That was unreal. That was absolutely unreal. So humble. Thank you, Vern. That means a shit ton from you, buddy. Sociable.
Don't call us common sailors, don't call us common men. We're as good as any man upon the shore. We're as good as any man upon the shore.
Floored me. Floored me. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. That is brand new Bud Davidge, and of course, don't call us sailors anymore. Common sailors, that is. The album is called All for a Song, available everywhere. I'm in awe. I'm in absolute awe. Thank you so much again, Bud. That was so much fun. It will be uploaded tonight. I will make sure of it. Go home after the gym and do what I need to do on that. That was so much fun. So much fun. Everybody on the behind the scenes, thank you for chiming in. Paul, you kicked ass on the accordion as always. Great storytelling. I could have talked to him. I need to do a 6-hour show to just hear every story that he has. And you know what? Somebody needs to do an autobiography on Bud. Somebody needs to sit down and record the stories he tells and archive that thing, because that is a true legend right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is 7:18 here on Jigs and Reels. I apologize right now. We were supposed to talk to Angie Reed. I know. I do have one more interview that I want to get to with Glenn Roil. It is Mental Health Awareness Week. We're going to be talking to Glenn. Of course, Glenn is a huge, huge advocate for Newfoundland and Labrador and across the country for mental health. So we'll talk to him very, very shortly. In fact, we're going to do that right after this song from Celtic Connection and 16 for a While on Jigs and Reels Radio, KW Mix 98.5. I gotta come down from that cloud, man. Damn. Riding that high for the rest month.
I returned to my hometown yesterday in my life. Before my eyes came flashing back. Everything was changed. Everything.
I wish I could tell you more, Paulie, but can't yet. Oh man, that's something, man. Yeah, sorry, Doug. I can't read that. Lucky the Leafs don't start until 8 o'clock, eh? You had to put that in there too. I'm drinking Bang, Francie. Oh, I know you do. God, the gym is going to be so much fun tonight. All right, let's give Glenn a call. All right, I still got to do my top 10, so Glenn, we're going to be quick on this one. 16 for a while. Boom, 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 boom. Good evening, sir. You're number 2. I hope you can try to keep up with Bud stories.
I'm looking privileged to follow the man, and you look good post Cuba.
Thanks, buddy. You know, I got that the tan on the go. You know how it goes. So we'll do a little bit of chatting a bit. I got to get to the top 10 and then everything, well, to the new music and such like that. So we'll briefly touch on the hot topics that we need to talk about for sure.
Absolutely. Much appreciated.
Of course.
Continue the conversation. Very important to keep this going.
Yep. No, absolutely. Oops, wrong one. There we go. All right. We'll do that in about 30 seconds. Hold on.
Perfect.
What that says. Sure was. How? Jigs and Reels Radio, KWMX 98.5, Celtic Connection 16 for a while. Speaking of being 16 for a while, Glenn Roil's on the telephone right now. To be 16 again in Newfoundland, Glenn. Boy, I tell you, the issues and things that go on for the teenager in Newfoundland, man, it's got to be some tough, eh?
You got that right, Dean. You just kind of throw me back to many moons ago when I was a teenager. But I think we grew up in a generation that they hadn't had to struggle with so many concerns this day and age.
Not all. Listen, we're going to quickly talk to you. It is Mental Health Awareness Week, and it's always good to have you on the phone, Glenn. You are a huge advocate for mental health and awareness in Newfoundland and Labrador and across Canada. With it being Mental Health Week, what are some initiatives that you have taken on along with Newfoundland and Labrador to bring the awareness out?
Well, some of the initiatives I've undertaken over time is the Doorways program that exists here now in the province, walk-in mental health services.
does exist. That's something that's out there for anybody that's struggling. They can do it either in person, they can do it over the phone, or they can do it virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other initiatives I've been involved with has been the Stigma Zero, the workplace mental health.
Yes.
Knowing that we spend a lot of our time with coworkers, and you never know what anybody is dealing from a personal standpoint. So stigmazero.com.
Yep.
Resources are out there for you on that. Another thing I helped found a national mental health organization, the Mental Health Foundation of Canada, both with Pam Party and Sarah Furlong.
Mm-hmm.
That bode along. There's going to be a showing at the Avalon Mall called Therapy Now program, 21st of the month.
Oh, wow.
They're almost gone, sort of thing. So
good.
Feel free to jump on the website there at all and the social media if you wanted to kind of do that. So lots of stuff going on at all, and the conversation, it's really important this day and age.
Well, and that's what people got to realize. You know what I mean? Like, our phone lines are always open. I've done this to a lot of people where it was one of those things where, listen, you're going through something. Hey, call me. And sure enough, like 2 a.m, all of a sudden I get this telephone call, and it's like, for an hour later, my phone's always open. Those that know me know that I'm a very good listener and unbiased. And I think sometimes that's what people just need to do, is just get stuff off their chest. But of course, there's also, Glenn, you can attest to this, is the techniques, the breathing techniques, the calming down when you're feeling anxious, the 10 things that you need to do. 1, look at something. 2, count. Those are some things that people can do, the coping techniques. Where can one find this online? Like we talked about, what do you suggest that to be the best for that?
The best resource in the province, and I think that all the provinces across the country, is called Bridge the Gap, P.ca. Or there's also the National Suicide Intervention Hotline, which is 988.
Yep.
That's coast to coast, 24/7, 365 in all official languages. And so there's all kinds of resources online, like breathing techniques, dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression issues, relationship issues, financial issues. I mean, this day and age,
of course,
we're all having an affordability crisis out there as well. So there's lots of resources out there, and never feel ashamed not to reach out, because just like physical illness, mental health, mental illness, and addictions, they're absolutely something that needs help. You just cannot just plow through by yourself.
Now, for me personally on this, and anybody else that kind of can attest to this, for me, the gym is my mental health. For me, I feel good after the gym. I hate going, but after being there, feeling down, feeling distant, feeling disassociated with anyone or anything, the gym's always been there, and I know that it helps me. That is just one thing. What are some of the other things people can do to find their mantra and their inner peace, so to speak?
Well, something that I've talked to a lot of physicians, psychiatrists, counselors, and therapists, a lot of them are still prescribing actually medication, and not going against medication under
of course,
proper,
yep,
authorization. But a lot of them are giving out like gym passes, like you're saying,
yeah,
also like nature passes, so they can go out to parks and different things to get engaged. Music, as you know,
yep,
your show,
yep,
a very therapeutic thing that I use myself at all.
Yep.
Any sort of sport activity, anything you want to do, meditation, faith, that's an important part. Go to church. Whatever works for you, go and do it.
Yeah. And don't stop doing it just because it worked the once. It is going to continue to work, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Don't think that you're going to be healed in overnight. It's going to take a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's like, taking care of good, healthy eating habits or good,
yep,
sleeping habits. It's practice over time. And ultimately, everybody needs to maintain optimal health. But we all go through the valleys and highs.
Yes.
To kind of make sure it gets more leveled out than those extreme ups and downs.
Yep, absolutely. Glenn, always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. We're going to do this in a few months again. Mental Health Week is upon us. Glenn Roil, who's a huge, I could go through the list, but I will just say you are a #1 advocate for mental health awareness through the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. So Glenn, an honor and a pleasure to have you on as always.
Much appreciated, my friend. Anybody wants to reach out through my socials, reach out. I'm always happy to talk. Mental health is important.
Wicked.
for keeping the conversation going, Dean, my friend.
Absolutely. Wicked, my friend. Good to talk to you, and you take care of yourself.
Take care. You too.
You get you, man. All right, Glenn Roil. There it is. Mental health. It's around. It happens. We're gonna take a quick break, our first kind of break for the night, and then we got something special coming up. Hold on. Woo, man, lots of stuff going on tonight. Woo! All right, and we're back here on the Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. So it was brought up to me that I completely forgot this last week. I know, I suck. However, we are going to continue playing this. It is now that time. That's right. We all know what it is. Oh yeah, we know what this is. That's right. Do we know what it is? Mm-hmm. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the New Music Monday, and we've got 5 tracks to get through tonight, starting off with this one that I was supposed to play last week. Silly Cove recording artist Rachel Cousins. She's got a brand new song out called Nora. It was recorded, mixed, and produced by Mr. Greg Wells, of course, at the Rocket Carousel Studio in LA, California. Nora is the first single released from Rachel Cousins' new album, set for release in the summer of this year. If you don't know who Rachel Cousins is, boys, I tell you, she does a great song. Thank God we're surrounded by water, but it's, surrounded by water by Ian Foster and such. She's on that. Mixture of Newfoundland music since she was an early teenager. She found the ear of Greg and Silly Cove back in 2023. It's crazy that it's only been a couple years ago. They were so proud to finally debut what they thought is going and believe is going to be one of the greatest singer-songwriter albums Canada will see this year. Already compared to some of the great pop artists to go before her, Rachel Cousins is set to take her sound to the masses, unlike we've seen in the Canadian-based artists in years. So let's go on, shall we? This is none other than Rachel Cousins. And again, all these songs are available online, streaming platforms all over the world. This is brand new. Rachel Cousins' song is called Nora on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix. Even though this song has been around for a week now, I have yet to hear it. I shouldn't say that. I heard this at Music NL last year when she did this show, the award show.
Played all your cards at 22. Jokes on you, and no one can change your mind, and you're just shit all the time.
Thank you, Glenn.
It's insulting for me to say different to you, and you wonder all the time.
Glenn Pie. Thank you for joining in, sir.
I hate the way you talk about yourself. Nora, I know you never speak that way to someone else. Nora, I wish that you could feel the way I do about you. Wish that was true. Someone else's perception can be.
It's kind of ironic that we were talking about Mental Health Week, and this song I'm playing it tonight. Interesting.
And I told you before.
Oh yeah. Relax. Oh, it is.
And your eyes when you cry, how they still hold the light. If I could bottle it up, I couldn't give it a price. And the time that we stayed on the floor all night, because I needed advice. You're always getting it right.
Oh, yeah.
Nora, I hate the way you talk about yourself. Nora,
Wow.
I would never speak that way to someone else. Nora, I wish that you could feel the way I do about you. Wish that was true.
It's Rachel Cousins. I met her and her mom when I first went to Music NL 3 years ago. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, and from that point on, you knew that there was stars in and around the world with her when she walks in the room. Jigs and Rails Radio, KW Mix 98.5, brand new music from Rachel Cousins. Song is called Nora. How fitting that we talk about mental health week with Glenn Roil and Rachel Cousins talking about her friend Nora. Yeah, it's a well-written song. Silly Cove Records knows what's up. So congrats to them. Let's move on, shall we? Kim Hamlin. She's got another song out. Of course, this one we all know where it was produced and recorded. That's right, with Fitzy, the one and only. And in times like these, we listen to Kim Hamlin. On Jigs and Rails Radio, KW Mix 98.5. We all know this is going to be a killer song. Newfie Cuba was wicked. Look at the tan. Look at the tan, buddy.
We need a friend, someone who we may depend. I'm searching for the words to say in case someone should come my way. Times like these, we need a friend.
Okay, seriously. Like, this was not planned at all. This was not planned at all about playing songs like this within regards to Mental Health Week. This is like something. Ha! Great guitar work. Who's playing that guitar?
We all need some love to fill our heart, to overcome the darkest part. Times like these, we need a friend.
Great song, Kim. Another one.
What is the light? Release the light, let it shine bright. In comfort, someone
Great song.
I'm searching for the words to say in case someone should come my way. Times like these, we need a friend, someone who
So when are you coming out with the album? That should be pretty soon, isn't it? Nice backing vocals too, Fitzy. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW Mix 98.5. Kim Hamlin, who, by the way, will be at the Showcase on the Rock, Bay Roberts, August 22nd to 24th. Pay attention to the website. We will be starting a page very, very, very soon. Justin, I got that. He's got some plans in the works. We're going to be looking for some help, some funding, etc., etc. So that's going to be happening very, very soon. Watch for that. Kim Hamlin will be there. Got to mention that, of course, the top 10, you guys saw that. The exclusive monthly top 10 for April 25. The list is out. And what a list it was. I'll tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 10 were already on the charts. And we got a brand new number one. Since we started this, there's been a change on the number one song every month. And again, these are voted by you. I have nothing to do with this. However, I will tell you this. Please, we only had over about 900 and change on the votes on this. The very first time we had this was over 1,100. This isn't for me. This is for you, the artist, because without this list, you know what I mean? It's just another avenue to get your music heard. And this is obviously on the online station on Live 365, where it can be heard on the Saturday and Sunday at the end of the month. And then, of course, it's up on Spotify, and it can be played anytime, anywhere. Here's what your top 10 looked like for this month, or for last month. In number 10 spot was Nothing But a Party from Heather Feather. Until You Love Me, Evan Watts Smith, who, by the way, will be at the Majestic promoting his album. Crazy from Amanda Stone. Yes, that was in the number 8 spot, debuting. Number 7 was A Little Bit of Lipstick from Mr. Jimmy Shanahan. No change. Stephen Shepard went from 2 to 6 with Fish Fry in the Hut. Moving up one spot from 6 to number 5 was Porta Poutine and Chapeau. Did you see my posts? I wonder, I got to get in touch with Jenna and Axel and find out how the weekend went for their album release party. High School Locker dropped 1, The Way East, but they are still on the charts. Number 3 spot, Justin Hanneman, Leave You on Red. That went up 2 from 5. That is a wicked track, by the way. Really, really, really good, relatable track. Tyler Humby, he's the one that dropped to number 2 from number 1 last month and taking over the number 1 spot, was Emma Witt, and You Don't Know. Find out who's going to be the top 10 this month with all these songs taken from the top 10. I mean, from the New Music Mondays. So just like this next song. Mr. Sean Wheaton grew up in a small community in Newfoundland called Fredericton, about an hour outside of Gander. He is an Army veteran who served in 3 combat tours. He's now retired and living in beautiful Clark's Beach. Not named after me, by the way. But I've been there several times. When it comes to music, his influences are oldies and classics, John Prine being on the top of the list. Over the next few months, he will be recording some originals as well as some favorite cover songs. This one is his all-time favorite oldies that he used to hear Jim Reeves singing. I'm talking about brand new Sean Wheaton and He'll Have to Go on New Music Monday. And Sean, Mr. Wheaton, I thank you. We all do. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW, Mix 98.5. Your sweet lips.
To the phone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low.
Oh, wow. Hey, you. You're in there with you. He'll have to go. Wow. Fitzy, where did this guy come from? And how did he find you?
You love me true.
I think we all heard this song once or twice.
Or is he holding you
The way I do. Oh, beautiful.
the love is blind?
Are you on break?
Make up your mind.
Oh, look, it's Dana and Glenn.
Should I believe to him, he'll have to go.
Okay, seriously, how old is this guy too? Like, this is beautiful.
Say the words I want to hear when you're with another man. Do you want me to answer yes or no?
He's so smooth too. Like, there's no.
Understand with your sweetness
A little closer to the phone.
let's pretend
That we're together long ago. Oh, I can imagine. And again, it's it's ironic, Dave. Not putting any light, but we talked with Glenn Roil, and here we are, 3 songs in. Interesting.
you'll have to go. You can say the words I want to hear when you're with another man.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Peter. Like, they're clear.
Answer yes or no, darling. I will understand with your sweetness.
Like, there's nothing. He's not trying hard at all either. Like, this is natural. But damn, see. There we go.
Let's pretend that we're together all alone.
Yeah, this is. Hell yeah.
Turn the jukebox way down low. And you can tell
Wow.
your friend there with you, he'll have to go. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox.
I like this ending.
You can tell your friend there with you, he'll have.
Wow. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. Where else are you going to hear a song like that from Sean Wheaton and He'll Have to Go? What a beautiful song, Mr. Wheaton. Well done. Fitzy on the behind the scenes. Again, it's New Music Monday for a reason. That song right there. All these songs, by the way, do get uploaded to the only an online radio station, Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Live 365, where you can hear Newfoundland music from yesterday, today, and tomorrow, all day, all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know Teddy Rowe is going to be in Kitchener-Waterloo area, and he listens to the Jigs and Reels Radio KW show on Live 365 and absolutely loves it when he drives the truck. You can too, in your little Honda Civic. It don't matter. I don't care. Glenn Pye. Glenn Pye is an interesting feller. He's awesome. Glenn Pye is a good dude. Great photographer. But he turned me on to these guys, and I, without even knowing who they were, I saw the logo, I saw the name of the band, and I'm like, hell yeah, I got to get in touch with these guys. The band is called Smoke Salmon. And I've tagged them in the posts, but you got to check it out. I ain't freaking kidding. These guys, this logo is awesome. I can't wait for my shirt. Well, they consist of Toby Taylor, grew up in St. Louis on the south coast of Labrador. Marlon Pilgrim, St. Anthony area, Upper Island Cove, was Boyd Sharp. Don Mercer is from St. John's. It's a 4-person country blues rock group. Marlon and I always joke that they are a Bluntry band, LOL. Just released their first studio album called Carry On. Marlon, my best friend, first cousin, started playing music together in December of 2020. Again, relatively new group. After I decided to buy a set of drums and learn how to play them. Marlon, however, has been singing, playing guitar since he was old enough to walk throughout COVID, and a little while after. Marlon and I must have made 150 videos of us in the garage just playing tunes and having a time. Now that is pretty cool. Then, of course, on September 22nd, 2024, Marlon, our best friend, brother, lead singer, songwriter, passed away suddenly. Huge thanks to FMP Studio and Don, whom also has been writing, playing, and producing music for 30 years, went to work, and we all came together to finish the album in Marlon's absence. It was a tribute to him and his family. The idea of having an entire album of his own songs out there for everyone to hear was his dream, and we wanted to see it through. So they are all proud of this album, and I know Marlon would have been too. He is, not would have, he is proud, and it breaks our hearts that he is not with us sharing this moment. He is with us, just watching from above. But we know he's definitely tapping his right foot, nodding his head in approval. Marlon was a brilliant lyricist, musician. His music was his passion, and that passion was infectious, and it overflowed to us while in his presence, and even still after his passing. Smoked Salmon has always dreamed of going back home to play our music in our hometown, so our album was completed. We just wanted to make sure that if it was possible to have our music played on a Newfoundland and Labrador radio station. I am so sorry this took so long, but you know what? I'm really happy that I get to debut it tonight. 23 years young. It's actually 23 years old is the name of the song, but you know how it goes. Jigs and Reels Radio KW, New Music Monday. This is Smoked Salmon on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5. Oh, this is a dancing party for sure.
I can hear music outside the street.
Oh, perfect. Spread the word.
Put your sweet lips to little folks.
There you go.
Little folks.
That was a beautiful song.
I remember that when I was 10 years old when it came out.
I was on everybody's radio station back then. I grew up listening to that one as well.
That was Jim Reed.
That's it. Hello, Marion. Thank you so much for sticking around. Oh, this is a party track for sure. This is one of those songs where if I was still the DJ, I'd be playing this one. This is like right up there, you know, with Footloose and all that party tracks. This is one of those ones you slip in when people really don't know this song, and you would slip it in and they'd be like, oh my God, oh, I like this. And then you'd go, oh, who is this? I used to do that with so many Newfoundland musicians when I used to DJ back in the day, and they'd be like, oh my God, who's this? And then I would tell them who it was. The energy. That's what I like about this one. What are you talking about? It doesn't start until 8 o'clock. And Florida's going to first score the first two within 10 minutes. I don't know why you're even leaving, Doug. Geez, you have a better chance of winning at darts than the Leafs do in round two. Just saying. Just saying. Yes, and I'm waiting for you to say, where are my Habs? I know. They're booking their tea times. Thank you. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Mix 98.5, a band called Smoked Salmon. I absolutely love that name. Can't wait for my t-shirt because you know I'm going to be wearing it right here. That is Smoked Salmon, available everywhere. Song's called 23 Years Old. Our final song here tonight is a little messy of one. Yeah, that's right. The song is a little messy, and I'm referring to Madeline. She's pop punk artist, released her new single today. It is the second release of 2025 and coincides with her 2 ECMA showcases this week at the Rock House, where she is performing with her full band. I'm actually super stoked about this song. It offers a raw, expressive sound of the pressures of a toxic relationship. Messy is Madeline's second track, following the raging honesty of her February girl rock anthem, Letting Go, which, of course, debuted right here. With a sound shaped by powerhouse influences like Avril Lavigne, Pink, and Olivia Rodrigo, Madeline continues to carve out a bold space for herself in the modern music scene, working with Robert John Kelly, Silas Bonnell, and Dan George. We all know who they are. Madeline's vision for Messy came to life. It is now available as of all today. Today, this is it. Brand new music from my friend Madeline and a song called Messy on Jigs and Reels.
You're so messy. I was down for you, ride or die. I'll never understand why it had to be that way. I can tell from that look in your eye. You wanna get messy, messy.
That's definitely Dan George on the drums.
Killing me, oh.
And she's what, 23, I think she is. Like, she's not that old. She's the future. I wish she would get out more this way and start performing in Toronto area and getting heard more. And of course, you got Robert John Kelly behind her. What's to say?
Messing with a girl like me. Now here we are, and it's history. Nothing left for you to do. I'm on my way to getting over you. Thinking about the night we met. A little bit differently since you left. Don't go blowing up my phone. Baby, you better leave me alone. Messy, messy.
Yeah. And if you ever see her live, she puts on such a wicked show. Like, the energy she brings is just, for 23. I would love to see her on Iceberg Alley stage if they had like the side stage. But you know where she's going to be playing. That's right. Oh, yeah. The acoustic version of this at the Showcase on the Rock in August. She's got it. She's committed. This is going to go on the Jigs and Reels Radio KW Driving Tunes playlist as soon as I'm done here. Watch it. And again, this will be available for the top 10. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW Mix 98.5. That's Madeline and Messy. That is it for our New Music Monday tonight. I hope you enjoyed those 5 tracks. It is time for me to say goodbye and make room for Zig as he's in the studio here now. I do want to say happy birthday to Ashley Rubas, who's celebrating his birthday this past week. To the Kitchener Rangers, you guys put on a hell of a season. I got some of the guys listening on the behind the scenes. Matt Lachar, thank you so much for the jersey, as well as signing it for me. I'm excited about what next year brings. Cam Mercer, who is, of course, from Newfoundland through his family. Nan and Pop are listening to the show. So, again, thank you to the Kitchener Rangers. Looking forward to next season. As well, thank you to you, Bud Davidge. Thank you for coming on the show tonight and talking about your new album, All for a Song. So that'll about wrap it up for me. We do this again next Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, and you know when time. That's right, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 7:30 Newfoundland time. When you hear the fables heave away, you know you're listening to Jigs and Reels Radio KW right here on Mix 98.5. So until next Monday night, may God bless you. May God bless the tropical island of Canada known as Newfoundland. Guys, have yourself a great week. And we'll talk to you again next Monday night. By the way, go Panthers. What? You guys have yourself a great night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do this again next Monday.